So I am going to talk to you about Arrow's Cloud Service Provider Program. Now this is Arrow's program. It's not a vendor program. This is us. Now before we start, I just need to clear one thing up. I've called it a Cloud Service Provider Program to differentiate it from what I call old-fashioned managed service providers who could be providing managed print, say. What I'm looking for are partners who are either already selling cloud services, and I don't really mind whether you've got your own infrastructure as a service that you're building and selling out, platform as a service or software as a service, or indeed you're reselling one of our big vendors like SoftLayer or vCloud Air. I think you called it, didn't you? vCloud Air this morning. Did, sorry Chris. So to me, all of those come under the nominal name of cloud service provider. We at Arrow do not mind at what stage in the journey you are on. So you could be a VAR looking at this huge chasm of how to transition your organization, your salespeople, your financial accounts into the world of cloud service provision. Or you could be a VAR who's been doing it for 12, 18 months. Or you could be a born in the cloud service provider who's never done anything else other than manage cloud services. Again, Arrow don't care. Welcome to the Arrow Cloud Services Program. And I'm without my pointer clicker thing, which I hate. So, as Steve alluded to this morning, we at Arrow spend a great deal of time talking to our partners. I personally spend a great deal of my time talking to cloud service partners. And we do hear common themes about the pains that you are all going through. And we see it as our mission as a distributor, not just to sell you stuff, but to arguably work with you to take some of these pains away. Why? Well, it's simple. The more effective we can make you, the more profitable we can make you, the more we can reduce your costs, means that you can focus much more of your time and your alacrity on selling more to your end users. You get a stickier relationship, which actually is one of to me, the main defining criteria for selling cloud, is it's a far more sticky relationship you build with your end user than, quite frankly, you do selling great big lumps of tin. The more you sell cloud, the more engaged you become with Arrow, and quite frankly, the more you buy from us. So we all win. It's that simple. So these are all the pains that no doubt you've now read, and hopefully some of them resonate with where you are. But to me, there's one biggest pain, and I certainly felt this when I ran my own company. I never, ever had the time to work on my company. I spent my life chasing tactics, working in it. So the main benefit we are going to give everybody who joins our cloud service provider program is the ability to come here once a month, network with your peers, find out the latest and greatest ideas and thoughts of all different flavors, and I'll explain that a bit more in a moment, and work on your business strategically rather than tactically in your business, which is where we all live. Would that help? Yeah, because the other big message I need to give you is this is not baked in stone. I will be reaching out to each one of you here today and saying, what do you need from us? Because this program will only work if it actually, tangibly gives value back to you. So I need you to come back to me with ideas, and we will change the program to suit what you need. So, let's get into the meat of the Cloud Service Provider Program as it is today. This was a slide that you saw from Scott earlier, and arguably you can boil your issues down to three main areas. The big one. None of us running our own reseller organizations can genuinely say we're ever happy with the number of end users we are actually selling to. We could always want more. But we always have an incredibly tiny marketing budget, and it never does enough. So we are going to work with you to help you on your business development. We're going to work out where you should be aiming your marketing dollar for the maximum return, and how you're going to create demand. The next one we're going to look at, your architectural and service enhancement. Massively important to cloud service providers. If you haven't got the right architecture and it doesn't scale, you're constantly limited. And if you aren't constantly moving your service to beat your competition, to give you that differential competitive edge, then you might as well just be reselling Amazon and join the club. Okay, the third one, financial support and enablement. Now, unfortunately, we've lost Graham Benson because I was going to point him out to you. Graham Benson is our CFO, and he plays a crucial role in this part of our value add to you, our cloud service partners. So let's go into this into a bit more detail. Is the Prosecco going down well, guys? Would you like a refill? I'll send Mr. Pierce off to get number 2 if you like. He's a great waiter.
Somebody get them to bring some more drinking.
I love it. Thanks, Steve. I could have done that.
Just to get us through your presentation.
Perfect. Good stuff. So, business development and demand creation. I'd like to introduce you to Francis. Francis is part of the team that heads this up. Arrow's marketing, in my opinion, having now worked for 3 distributors in the UK, is the best marketing engine you will find in UK distribution today. So when I actually say we have got marketing programs and platforms that you can use to grow your end user community, I really am not kidding. And Francis can come along and demonstrate them to you. So we have a virtual marketing management portal that comes ready-baked with all of the marketing collateral that you will need to brand with your company and send out very easily with all the pertinent messages, all of the landing pages that you can copy and paste and put onto your own website. It's even got call-out scripts on there for you to pick up and use. Then when you look at lead creation, we've got a sales lead portal. The sales lead portal enables you to manage the leads that we give to you and that you give to your salespeople to close. You put in the metrics and your successes, and then we can feed that back to the vendors to prove the ROI on the investment they've made in you, such that they will invest more marketing spend on you. So we're helping you be more effective, but equally report more easily back to the vendors. You will get leads as part of the cloud service provider program from Arrow. You'll get them quarterly. Again, we will follow up on them, but they will be coming from Arrow. We'll give you sales and technical incentives such that you can incent your salespeople to go out and close those leads and deliver you those valuable new customers. And when you want to run events, you are welcome to use the Royal Exchange where we are now. We have meeting rooms for you to use, and you also can use the hot desking facility whenever you're in London. We are going to be running more and more of these events. I've called them enablement events, and I'll tell you more about those in a moment. But part of the events that we run is going to help you build out your service proposition. A lot of you have got varying different guises of infrastructure as a service, which is great, except the issue you've got is how do you differentiate your infrastructure as a service from everybody else's, except on price, which is a path none of us want to go down. So what we are doing is we're setting up what we're calling partner jams, which is where we will introduce you to a whole load of other MSPs and ISVs. We've got a site called Partner Connect, which is our version of a dating website. And you put your profile up there as to your unique proposition and the vertical markets you are looking to crack. We will then team you up, dating website, to all the ISVs who may equally be looking to have an MSP partner that you can partner together and take a co-joined software as a service out to market. You can test their software using our test bed on the other side of this building. So you don't even have to worry about putting that software onto your own infrastructure. Test it here. If it passes your robust tests, then we will stand behind you with the marketing and all of our alacrity to help you take that software as a service to market. So we are actively helping you grow out your service proposition. And that's what the partner jams do. And last but not least, for those of you who are thinking global, as and when it's relevant, we can support you both in EMEA and worldwide. So, we've gone quiet. Is that because the Prosecco's nice? Architectural and service enhancement. Well, Scott's already told you about Aerosphere. I would strongly, strongly suggest you go and grab the guys before they leave and get a demo. It's one of those systems that's really, really compelling in the flesh. And we have got 500 active partners actually driving down their cost of service provision and the speed of their go-to-market because they are deploying Aerosphere. And then you've got all the Aero clever stuff. When you actually decide to expand your proposition or go into new markets or to differentiate your infrastructure as a service because you'll implement some brand new technology, for example, SolidFlyer, that's when you can draw on all of our technical architects who will come and help and engage you to make sure it's configured and architected for the future. Yes? Technical training and support. And then lastly, I don't know if Fenton's there, and Fenton can give us, hi Fenton. If you need data center provision and data center space, we will, with our alliances, introduce you to Source, who are effectively, if you will, a data center distributor. So effectively, we are here to help you every step of the way as you grow and differentiate your architecture. Dave Ellis and his team are going to keep our CSP program members up to speed with all the latest and greatest technologies. We have got the Innovators Club that I would strongly suggest that you join and take use of. It will deliver you value and you will get first sight of the new technologies that Arrow are only just looking at. And you can actually vote whether you think it will be relevant for the UK market or not. When you take on one of these new technologies, it's very difficult to skill up your professional services team speculatively because you don't really want to spend a great deal of money on a vendor's services before you've proven that vendor and will it actually work within your target customer market or not. So what we do is using Arrow Professional Services is we will provide those services for you, acting as you if necessary, until you're ready to take that vendor on board and do it yourself. Now obviously, smaller margins, but less risk. Yes? And then the last one is one that's very intriguing for me. We get a lot of managed service providers currently who come to us and they want to buy a given vendor to put it into their own data center, but they can't implement it and they can't buy it because they don't have the right technical accreditations. The price they're going to be buying it at is not commercially the best price they could. So what we do is we do the partner matching such that rather than you try and spend all of that time trying to find the right partner for you to procure it who has the right technical accreditations, we do all of that work for you. So we will introduce you to a partner who holds those accreditations. They can make sure that you buy it because they have the accreditations. We will make sure that the price that they give to you is reasonable. Yes? Am I going too quickly? I'm just conscious I'm speaking at 50 miles an hour. Is everything all right? So, last but not least, financial support and enablement. This is the biggest elephant in the room when I go and talk to service providers. The customer's expectations are always this big. The salespeople's expectations are always that big. And the financial budget is usually like this. So somehow we have to try and meet that gap. So Steve and I and Graham have been working on Arrow financial proposition for the service provider partners. And more of that's going to come out in 2015. We are going to help you with cash management, with optimizing your CapEx. It could be a pay-as-you-grow model, it could be deferred payment, it could be a finance lease. Because the solutions will all be tailored to exactly what you need to fit your business requirements. So we're not going to cookie cutter this. This is your solution. When you're doing the procurement, obviously we will leverage all the vendor pricing and we will manage your credit risk for you. Now, to do that, you're obviously going to need a fairly rapid method of accessing our brilliant finance team. So we've set up an instant messaging group such that you can instant message somebody within our finance team with a query and they'll get straight back to you. So what we're trying to do is to get it so that you never sit there and go, oh, we've no idea where to go now. Come to Arrow and we will guide you along the way. And then last but not least, we'll even work with you to enhance your proposition that you put to your end users. So that was very much a whistle-stop tour of everything that we've put in to our cloud service provider program. And last but not least, I'm going to touch on the events. So this event was the first of our events that we're going to be running every month. But the events are not always going to be the same. Don't sigh. At the first month of every quarter, it will be events similar like this. So it'll be what I call a vendor-centric event. We will work and pick out interesting, exciting, cloud-focused vendors. So you've got to remember, everybody in this room is a service provider. This is not a VAR event where I've just invited service providers along as well. This is incredibly service provider focused, as no doubt you've realised because of the speeches and the talks that you've heard today. So in the first month of every quarter, it will be a vendor-centric event. The second month of every quarter, it will be one of the partner jams that I described earlier. I'm calling it facilitating co-opetition, because you'll be cooperating with people that you might have thought you were going to compete with earlier. And the third event, can you stand and wave, Mr. Thomas, are going to be facilitated by Dan Thomas of Compare the Cloud. Dan runs a website where you can advertise your cloud services and people can go along and procure. So he knows firsthand all of the business pains that all of you guys are working with. So he's going to put together some business-centric events. There will be no vendors. There will be no product pitch. So for example, we're looking at getting a legal guy along who'll present to you when is a good SLA and when is a good contract. We're going to have another one about how do you compensate salespeople on monthly annuity streams when they're used to being paid commission based on great big pieces of tin. And again, I'll be looking for you to give me feedback on what you would like to have presented, and Dan and I will go away and source it. So watch out, the team will be sending you the agenda and all the details of that in the very near future. Our next event, Partner Jam, is here on the 20th of October in the afternoon, and the team are sending those emails out by Friday of this week. Last but not least, on your seats, hopefully you're not sitting on them, are two brochures. One brochure describes everything that we've put into the partner program. The other one, the program at a glance, tells you what we need from you for you to be a member of our program. Because as somebody succinctly said it before, the more you play, the more we pay. So we are going to look for an element of loyalty to Arrow, and we are going to look for you to implement ArrowSphere XSP, for example. So it's all explained in the brochure. Can I suggest you take it home and read it? Francis has done a brilliant job. It's really self-explanatory. And I very much look forward to meeting you again in the near future. Hopefully it's another one of these, and certainly when I come round and see you all.